Hi there, I'm Anna from Canine Phuket. I'm a dog trainer and I offer private dog training lessons at your house anywhere on the island. Today, I want to specifically talk about dogs that are particularly terrified of going to the vet or getting treatment, being handled, um, just afraid of the whole idea of getting treated or going to the vet. Um, it's first very important to acknowledge that from a dog's perspective, being handled by a stranger, poked and prodded and probed and examined, can be a very uncomfortable experience. So it's first important to understand that it is normal for a dog to be um, a little bit uncomfortable with going to the vet. Some dogs are either through the breeder or just through past experience. Some dogs will have had a very positive, very pleasant experience at the vet and just generally love going. Maybe because of the people that they've met, maybe because of the way they've been treated, maybe because of the treats that they've received. Or in some cases, sometimes people very intentionally have taken dogs to puppies to the vet for socialization, for desensitization, to help them cope with um, the unexpected appointments, unexpected diagnosis, and other things that happen to come up in life. So if your dog hasn't been introduced to that at a young age, it is possible that they are nervous, they are scared, maybe they're trembling, shivering. Maybe some of them are even downright aggressive because of how afraid they are of what is about to happen to them at the vet. So now that we understand that it is generally an unpleasant, um, it can be an unpleasant feeling for most dogs. I want to focus on the fact that it is possible to do something about it. It is possible to help your dog overcome their fears. They might not love being handled by other people, but they can be taught to become tolerant of it. They can be taught to become normalized to through exposure. It can become a normalized experience. Um, Now, how that's done depends on your dog's particular temperament, on your dog's behavior at the vet. If your dog is just mildly jumpy, it's much easier to train them through that. If your dog is downright fearful or anxious or crying, whining, wailing, it's going to take longer. And if your dog is downright aggressive as well, that's also going to take much longer than a dog that's just mildly nervous about going to the vets. So the method and the how to differs from dog to dog. Um, if your dog has had a particular experience that made them feel that way, it's much easier to, because we've identified what it is that's making them afraid, it's much easier to work them through it because that trigger has been identified. In other cases, when you don't know what it is about going to the vet that makes them terrified, it takes a little bit longer to figure out what that is. And training doesn't have to start at the vet's office. Some of this training will just start at home in a familiar environment. To your dog, I'll be a stranger. So if I come in and start doing these handling techniques, that's also unusual enough for them to be a starting point. But we always work our way up towards going to your regular vet, the place where the dog normally has these reactions, is already has associations with, and then work them through it. But it's a process. You start in a familiar environment. You start by just getting them used to being handled, and then you pair in the other triggers, such as getting in the car or being at the vet, seeing a particular vet, or seeing a particular tool at the vet's office. It's different from dog to dog, and we just have to figure out what it is that triggers your dog and work them through it. But the main point of me making this video and sharing this with you is to help you understand that there is a solution if your dog has been scared or has had reactions at the vet's office before. It is not the be all end all. He's not doomed to, always be afraid of the vet. It is possible to have your dog work through their triggers, work through their fears, so that you can give them the quality of life that they need, or that they deserve, and also get them the treatment that they need. The other thing that I wanted to touch on a little bit is other coping methods that we often use to get our dogs to go to the vet. So sometimes I've seen people use other trigger words that their dog's normally excited about. So things like walk, or other things that your dog would maybe pretending like you're going to the beach, pretending like you're going to pick up your spouse from the office, something like that. And then you deceivingly take your dog to the vet because now that they've got in the car, they obviously can't go anywhere. I want you to think about the implications of that, right? You can use all these techniques where you wrap your dog in a towel or force them down or bluff them and pretend that they're going somewhere else, but you actually take them to the vet. But think about the implication of that on your relationship, right? Your dog is learning that you don't always mean what you say, and that sometimes the things you say are lies, which breaks the trust that they have in you. And a relationship between a dog and a human is very much based on trust. It's very much based on energy. And if their past experiences have been deceptive, they're less likely to trust you. And over time, what might seem like a very easy fix right now, over time might become more problematic because they've seen their trust broken over and over and over, to the point where when they're really in pain, when they've got, for whatever reason, God forbid, have a serious injury that needs to be taken care of, it'll be difficult for you to take them to the vet. And so it's very important to get your dog desensitized, get your dog able to receive the treatment that they should be getting, or the treatment that they deserve. And you want to do it by helping them build confidence, making them more resilient, and do it by helping them overcome their fears instead of through deceptive techniques. So if you have a dog that has had a reaction or seems to be getting more and more afraid of going to the vet, or has recently had an experience that made them a little bit nervous about going to the vets, I think I'd love to help you, and I think I'd be able to help you. So I'd love to see, or love to hear what has happened, and how I can help you. So get in touch, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.